Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randirhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me. Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
What we're told by our sources is that in fact, Comey will testify. He will testify publicly, maybe as soon as next week, before the Senate Intelligence Committee, and that he is ready and eager to discuss these tense confrontations that we've heard about over the last few weeks with the president over the Russia investigation.
So you've got two bombshells. One, he's agreed to testify in public before the Senate Intelligence Committee, maybe as early as next Wednesday evening, Wednesday morning, is that right?
That's in the mix, yes.
All right, that's one, that he will testify in public, maybe as early as Wednesday morning before the Senate Intelligence Committee. And two, he is ready and even eager to speak about his conversations with President Trump about the entire investigation.
Correct. He and Bob Mueller, the special counsel, have been discussing the parameters. They don't want to mess up the criminal investigation that Mueller is now embarked on with the public testimony. It's unlikely that Comey will be willing to discuss the Russia investigation itself. He'll stay away from that, but what we're hearing is that he is willing, and Mueller is willing as well, to have him testify about these run-ins where the president allegedly told him to let go of the investigation, for instance, into Michael Flynn, where he wanted his loyalty to keep him on as FBI director, that he is ready and prepared to talk about those tense confrontations with the president.
You say tense, it's extremely tense because if in fact he says what has been reported, that the president tried to discourage him from pursuing this investigation. Some are alleging that could even be obstruction of justice.
That is the phrase that's being tossed around, especially by Democrats. And it's one thing to have these accounts leak out over the last few weeks through the media. It's another to hear them directly from the fired FBI director, all 6'8". We know how the president is glued to TV. This will be about as close to a face-to-face confrontation as you might ever hope for.
Yay! Comey!
What we're told by our sources is that
Let's play it all day on an endless loop. Comey! Oh, happy Confefe, everybody. It's Confefe. Okay, so here's what happened with Trump last night. After a relatively quiet period on the Twitter, he's home now. He's home and he's in front of his television set. He's watching, the Fox. He's watching, the CNN. He's watching, the news. He's, and he's tweeting. And he's tweeting because he has the stamina to do so. Since when? I swear to God, the Republicans are defending the fact that the Trump was tweeting, manic, crazy, syphilitic stuff. He has the syphilis. There is no question. I mean, this is degenerative, progressive, end stage syphilis. And he's tweeting it like midnight last night. And he took on, the topics of our day. He took on the topics of our time, the things that keep people up at night. Not the missile defense launch, or science, or whether or not we should have a conversation about, if we want to join only Nicaragua and Syria as nations that aren't in the Paris climate agreement. No, he was taking on the issues that keep everybody up at night. All right, that keep him up at night, which of course is Kathy Griffin. Yes, Kathy Griffin, my life on the D list, Kathy Griffin, adorable little Kathy Griffin, who is a D-list comedian by her own admission. This is what Kathy got famous for. She's also a reality TV star. You would think that there would be more love between the two, but no. But anyway, he was taking on the very tough topic of Kathy Griffin and her photograph holding a Trump mask, but just the head. A mask is just a head by the hair. blood on its face. He was taking on that tough issue. And of course, he was taking on the very, very tough issue of the Democrats and the very fake media. This is what he was doing. And so he was tweeting last night after midnight, and he wrote something about, he's doing great even with the very bad press confefe. And he left it there for, like the whole night because apparently nobody has the president's password. He really ought to give that out. He really ought to share that, even with Jared, somebody. Jared apparently has had a Twitter account since 2009, never tweeted anything. It's, nobody's ever heard his voice. Sometimes they call Jared air, he's like, he just floats in and sort of like a poltergeist. So, but anyway, so the president's very annoyed. He leaves this Twitter up all night. Everybody that sees it starts to, even his supporters are like, oh my God, what's happened to him? He's gone mad. He's gone crazy. And people are like, okay, it's been 5 minutes. What if this is it? I swear to God, these are the real tweets. This is Emily Nussbaum. She said, it's been 5 minutes. What if this is it? What if this is his final tweet? And the rest of history stops. And then someone else said, wake up, check Twitter. Go back to bed. Somebody else said, God damn it. Somebody already bought #covfefe.com. Somebody was trying to buy it. And they got a message from, I guess, GoDaddy or whatever the service was that they were trying to buy the website from, said, you could do confefe.net, you could do confefe.us, but confefe.com's already been sold. I mean, like in a split second. Somebody else said, #covfefe is Russian for take Jared, spare me. Somebody else said, not only is confefe a word, but it's the greatest word ever uttered. Somebody else said, you used to #covfefe me on my cell phone. Nevertheless, she covfefe. My favorite one was, ask your doctor if covfefe is right for you. So then I come into work today, and I put the homework section together. And, we have Rogo here, temporarily. He's a video editor, but, he's showing some goodwill. And he's coming in and he's running the show for us in these, intervening days before Antonio is actually ready to launch. Okay. And he's sitting behind Rogo now training. So Rogo, we always suspected there was something wrong with him. Didn't we? Yeah. So I'm telling the story, well, first of all, he sees the homework because he posts it. I write it, he posts it. He puts it in the container for the website, right? And so I called it #COVFEFE, which is what Trump tweeted, all this bad press covfefe. That started this whole Twitter thing last night that started covfefe trending and people trying to purchase covfefe.com. So he sees it and he says, what do you want to call the homework? I said, it's there. It's called #covfefe. I don't understand. I said, well, you didn't hear the story? Well, I see it on the news. So when you see something like that, you don't go, what the hell is that? I need to listen to the news. I need to. No, I just don't care. So I tell him the story, just like I told you. So Trump tweets last night at midnight, and he's like delirious or something, or the meds kicked in, or he needs the meds, or I don't know what the deal is with this man. But he tweets this out, and it becomes like a whole thing on Twitter last night, and it starts to trend, and people are like, trying to figure out, if covfefe is right for them, and they said don't normalize covfefe. People are having fun with this thing, right? And so it starts trending, and I said, but Trump tweeted this, and he left it up all night. I said, and then he took it down this morning. He deleted it, and then he tweets, "Have fun figuring out what covfefe means." And Rogo says, "Right on." Like, only a Trump supporter would say such a thing. So I just want you to know, it's the first of the month. I have bills to pay and a Trump supporter running my board. Okay, just so you know, buy a stinking podcast, support the show, everybody. Randi needs to hire some folks. you know, and we sort of suspected he was a Trump supporter. See, I don't ask people their persuasions. I just, I don't get that deep and personal with the people, you know, because it's really, you know, it should be unimportant, but in this polarized universe, do you know what I mean? I guess I should make it an interview question, but I just don't. I just do not. I don't even know if it's legal to ask how did you vote or who you for, or, you know, do you support? But I remember, you know, when we first started, and we brought in the Rogo to train to be the backup, right? Because we needed a backup in case, you know, something happened. And guess what? It did. So good on me. See, I'm not a Trump supporter. I can actually plan for and understand the future, see? I know science is real. You got to cover your bases. You got to plan, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean prepping. It doesn't mean getting meals that you can eat in a bunker. Just add water. Where's the water coming from? That's what I want to know. It's nuclear winter. Just add water. You got 40 delicious meals, you know, like for $400 in a bucket. So where's the water coming from? I don't know. But anyway, so, you know, I mean, I trained Rogo. And then one day, right at the beginning, I don't know how it came up, but he said something like, I voted for him, or I love him, or I loved his speeches, or something like that, right? So I took him outside. I wanted him out of the view of the other people that were, because, you know, I didn't want him abused, see, because we're peaceful people. Even Kathy Griffin, what she did was a photograph. It's not as if she put her hands around somebody's neck who was doing their constitutionally protected job as a journalist and had the temerity to ask somebody running for Congress what they thought of the CBO score on the healthcare bill, provoking wild and mad rage to the point where he chokes out a journalist and still gets elected in freaking Montana. It's not like Kathy Griffin did any of that, okay? What she did was she took a tasteless photo and has profusely apologized for it. Oh, and by the way, she lost her job with CNN. And she got backstabbed too. And I can feel it. I can feel the backs, you know, because I'm still healing. I'm still healing. I am. I'm still healing from the, you know, when the knife went in me. I could still feel it. And so I'm kind of, you know, feeling her pain is exactly what I'm. And, you know, her best friend, Anderson Cooper, you know, he turned on her. Oh, yes, he tweeted it. Okay, here's the pressure he was under, just so you know. It's all the Twitter. See, this is why it's so important that the president tweets words that don't exist in the English language and leaves them up all night and then challenges everybody to figure out what confefe is, as if this is the thing that's going to give health insurance to millions. You know, we should figure it out. But Trump tweeted, after confefe, taking on the other huge issues of our time, he tweeted, Kathy Griffin should be ashamed of herself. My children, especially my 11-year-old son Barron, are having a hard time with this. Sick. Well, maybe you should be talking to Barron about why you don't live with him. Instead of showing him your Twitter feed or photographs that Kathy Griffin had published. I really doubt it came up in an 11-year-old's world. It doesn't come up in a Trump supporter's world. What's Kathy Griffin doing? Right, Rogo? Never thought about it, did you? No. Not till I brought it up. And so there was that. And then Chelsea Clinton tweeted, this is vile and wrong. It's never funny to joke about killing a president. Oh, man, you know, it was a mask. It was a rubber mask. Okay. And then Kathy Griffin went online Tuesday night and she apologized profusely. She said, you know, I'm a comedian and I didn't mean anything by it. And I'm so sorry. And please forgive me and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it was just, I thought I pulled it somewhere. I did. No, that's the Seth Rich Hannity. See, that's offensive, you know. Okay, but anyway, so then all of a sudden we get a tweet from CNN Communications, which is the PR arm of CNN, and it says, CNN has terminated our agreement with Kathy Griffin to appear on New Year's Eve program. Okay. Let's discuss for a brief moment. This is a woman who appeared in her bra in 2-degree weather, giving it her all. Her little teeny tiny ones, exposing to the world. and a body fit for a 20-year-old on a woman who's got to be pushing 60. All to help Anderson Cooper through the cold, hard night of New Year's Eve. And if CNN thinks that anybody is going to watch CNN New Year's Eve's program without Kathy Griffin and only Anderson Cooper, without Kathy Griffin flashing people or, in a fur coat with nothing underneath, which I think is fabulous for a woman of her advanced years, you're wrong. But then came the coup de grace, okay? This is unbelievable. Anderson Cooper, at Anderson Cooper. For the record, I am appalled by the photo that shoot Kathy Griffin took part in. It's clearly disgusting and inappropriate completely. Oh! Lily-livered little baby ass. Really? You had to pile onto the Kathy? I mean, look, can we just say this? Kathy Griffin went to Afghanistan to entertain our troops. A war zone. A freaking crazy ass war zone. Where people change sides, like Anderson Cooper. On a whim, okay? Then she went to Iraq in the middle of a war, an active war, a shooting war. How many times? I can't count. To entertain our troops. And somehow, she is the person that is causing, violence in our country. And you had to pile on? Anderson? Really? I never could understand how she had you as a friend. I never could. When I lived in New York, you used to walk your dog. I believe her name was Lucy. I'm not sure. Beautiful Springer Spaniel. I'd walk my little, my little Simon. You never said hello. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.